Data bits going out.
Is live.
Kicking over to live. Hey, it's Saturday night, or Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon if you're in Korea. Pedro, are you in Korea?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
Then again, I'm under enough medication that I could be, and I just don't realize.
I was gonna ask if you don't go anywhere.
Not usually, no.
No. Korea's kind of cool. Korea's got some cool places in it. Unless you're on Twitch. Unless you're a Twitch Korea streamer, you got some bad news, man.
What do they do?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh, I'll tell you about it in a minute. Hang on. Let me, okay, hey, we're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch, and that's all I got set up this week. I got to do social media 1, social media 2, social media 3. How do you say 4 in Portuguese?
Quatro.
Quatra?
Yeah.
So it's like quattro, but with an A?
Yeah, it's quattro, but with only one T.
Quattro.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Quattro.
That's boring as hell.
That's where the word comes from. Latin languages and all that.
There we go. All right. Boom. Hey, everybody. Getting ready to do a show in a minute. Got to do a little bit of warm-up. Got to do a little stretching out. Tonight, if you've read the show title, yeah, we're going to be talking about why you should immediately format your Linux partition and install Windows 11 for gaming. We're going to be talking about goobers.
Yes.
Skyrim has been certified for the Steam Deck. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. And
I have questions about that.
Pedro's going to tell you about a laptop. He couldn't help himself. He's like, it's a laptop. We got to talk about it.
Admittedly, that laptop looked really nice right up until I saw the price.
So it's like a regular laptop, huh?
Yes.
I mean, when was the last time you saw a laptop that looked really nice and you got to the price and you went, yes?
Whatever the last one was that I bought on eBay. I don't think, the brand new laptops, the price tends to be... Ooh, Showbot is looking underutilized.
That's a cryptic message.
Did you reset the Showbot?
I don't know what that means.
No, it still has all of the things there from last week, so...
Oh, that Showbot. Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Not like that we can.
Shwoobot.
Shwoobot. Take 2? Hey.
Yes.
All right. All right, so check this out. Yeah, Amazon, the parent company of Twitch, Twitch made the announcement. Let me see if I can pull up the page. An update on Twitch in Korea. I apologize. I know we're not supposed to learn anything on this show, but just bear with it. Bear with it. An update on Twitch in Korea. This morning, blah, blah, blah. Ultimately, the cost to operate Twitch in Korea is prohibitively expensive. So, peace. We're out. Gone. Deceased. No more.
That's a heck of a precedent, especially, Korea.
They've had to do a bunch of stuff, man. this is the same Korea that drove Netflix out
Yes.
over the same thing. It's 10 times the price. The way I understand it, from like vaguely skimming articles this week, is the ISPs got a thing where they want what ISPs everywhere would love to do, where you basically got to pay them carriage fees, man, to get to the end user. So if you want to send data to the people's houses, you're like, well, you got to give us a cut for that. While that same ISP's going to the customer and be like, and you pay us too.
Yes, obviously.
See how awesome this system is, you guys? But, 10 times more bandwidth cost. Twitch is like, peace out. And Netflix was already like, you know what? But one of the fascinating things about this was Twitch had already knocked their quality down to 720p in Korea. And they're like, maybe this will help out. And then they tried to implement the peer-to-peer streaming system. Like they were trying to make this work, and I feel bad for anybody who was like doing that. Like that was their gig, right? They got like 2 months notice, dude. Like if you were a Twitch partner and you're living in Korea, like you're out of a job. You got 2 months notice, and like your income stream's gone, by the way.
Maybe now's the time to maybe learn some Japanese or some Chinese and just skedoodle on out.
VPN.
Yeah. Although the VPN's going to introduce a heck of a lot more latency.
Well,
even if you are setting up your own in another
set up a
country,
restream server like we do. I think that's the way around. I don't know, man. Like I feel for them, and yeah, Korea's a weird one. Like it is a high tech, but like I won't get into like the politics of a very protectionist and draconian about other companies. Like
yes,
that's how they roll. Like all right, that's cool. In Korea, because he's registered as an American Twitch partner. Yeah.
it needs to stream out to Japan. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just change the ingest server to the Japanese one. There, done.
I want to, I forgot to remind Jordan. If you're wondering, by the way, Jordan is in Florida doing mocap for GTA 7.
Mm-hmm. He's not dead yet, but he is in Florida, so...
He's working with Rockstar. He wants to be in the next GTA trailer. Did you see the trailer for GTA 6?
Not yet. I've seen all the hype around it, and I saw the the gifs.
All right, well, I can't play it. Well, get over yourself for a second. Click play on it.
It was... I have no interest. GTA 5 was so
dude, the last
boring.
GTA I played was Miami Vice City, just because I had to get it running with wine for a friend, and it was new at the time. You don't watch it for the game, you watch it for the Florida. Like, you can skip the first 30 seconds of it. You just want the Florida part of it.
Yeah, I didn't even know that, Mir. Let's have a look, see. Oh yeah, I do remember some people being up in arms about one of the protagonists being a woman, because it's 2023 and that argument still comes up.
It's a good part.
Have I said it? Yes. There you go. Alligator in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Alligator in the store. Yeah.
The Florida part of the.
Okay. Yes. Dual wielding hammers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that looks like a game I have absolutely no interest in.
You're already pre-ordering. Yeah, I get it. Well, the reason we brought all that up before Pedro goes into a spiel about he's anti, like I said, I don't care. I don't care. We're talking about Florida because one of our co-hosts was in Florida, and this is part of the bit to tie it in. You might remember this guy from the trailer you might have just watched. He's quite upset because they used his likeness.
I mean, it's not the first time that Rockstar has used someone's likeness without exactly going through the proper channels.
It looks nothing like him because he doesn't have a giant Batman tattoo on the...
No Batman and no crosses.
Based on a true story. All right. You know what? I'm going to play the hell out of the new Horizon Ginger Turbo. I really enjoyed the first one. That's my kind of game. Sit back, relax, kill robotic dinosaurs. I'm like, done. Let's go. It is a Sony title, so you know, you might want to wait until patch 15 or 8 months pass before buying it. Because despite what old Strider would like everyone to believe, The Last of Us still is in a really rough spot on PC.
Fuck, what's the name of the game?
I don't know. One of these days you're going to do that and you're going to accidentally summon something, man, because...
Yeah, the Uncharted game, the one that I got with the 5800 X3D. That one was okay. It was okay. The first 2 weeks were a bit rough, but it was 2 weeks, and then it was okay.
Who did it?
It's also a Sony game. I don't know who. Uncharted.
I don't know.
Iron Galaxy Studios.
I think I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Can you watch the show? I don't know.
The same people who made The Last of Us.
Avoided The Last of Us because it was a console exclusive, and that's like my type of game, right? And I'm like, oh, dude, that looks like, and that's never coming to PC, you know? And that would be a true statement if it were rewind 3 years ago. I'm like, well, we're never getting a Sony game on. So I just avoided it. I'm like, fine, I'm never, you know, I'm not cool as Pedro where I get a PlayStation 4 and the game I want to play and not play it. But Pedro's got me beat, man. He's next level with this stuff. I'm some amateur.
When I realized that you have to pay for PS Gold in order to do the multiplayer thing, I'm like, nah, fuck you. How do people put up with that shit? How do people put up with paying $15 a month for the sake of using the internet connection that they already pay for?
Does Bloodborne get multiplayer?
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody like stream Bloodborne multiplayer before.
It has the same level of multiplayer that the Souls games and Elden Ring do.
All right, that's stretching the use of the word multiplayer.
But that's the thing. If you don't pay for PS Gold, you don't even get that.
That sounds like a feature.
That means you don't get invaded by people. That means you lose out on a chunk of the game.
I'm still waiting. For The Last of Us on PC. Even though, like, what are we at? We're at patch 14, patch 15. It might eventually come, or they might have given up on it by now. You know what? Like 6, 8, 9 months, however long it's been out. I haven't bought it yet. Like I, we were
March.
talking about,
Yeah,
we were
9
talking
months.
about that during LinuxGameCast a couple of weeks ago. Like, I don't have that FOMO, man. I will XKCD wait that game out until it is got a good clean bill of health and it just runs reasonably on modern-ish hardware, or I'll brute force it a decade from now with what passes for modern-ish hardware. You know, when you go back and play those titles, it's like, can it run Crysis? And I'm like, man, I run Crysis at 4K, son. And I'll never buy I'm just not buying a dedicated like game console. I hope that never changes. And I'm not judging anybody who buys a game console, because I completely get it. You're like, I just want to play a game. And I'm like, that's probably the best way for you to play that game, to be honest with you. Plug it into your TV, play a game, because you have no interest in having a desktop PC whatsoever outside of playing that game. Yeah, get a console.
Although nowadays it's not quite that simple, because even if you buy the console and you want to play the game, you have to wait for the 10 gigabyte day one patch to download, and console patching experience seems to be slow everywhere in the world. I don't know why.
Yeah, but you get a collector DVD.
Yes. If you buy the physical edition. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not wound up about it. Like, the last console I bought that I owned was the 32X. Now, it is the way luck works, and I'm the one responsible for killing the 32X, so.
This was the last game console I bought.
If I bought a Steam Deck, they would cancel it.
They just released the OLED one. They can't.
Gabe would announce the week after that he's closing Steam. All right. Like, you think
that's the end times right there.
dude.
Steam just goes down. Yeah, no, that's the end times.
I get that. Not even exaggerating, people. Let's say I got like that Tascam audio interface with a built-in, because it was like super cool with a mixer and all that stuff built in. By the time it arrived, between the time I ordered it and arrived, the guy posted on his project, was like, yeah, I sold that thing. I'm abandoning this project. I'm like, right. I got that great deal on the RME AIO Pro. I'm like, awesome. Dude's working on it. University professor. The dude literally died.
That's, yeah. God damn.
Like, I'm the person like, Vin, this has been a simulation. I'm like, probably.
Yeah.
Like at this point, dead silent. 3 o'clock in the morning, my favorite time to come in here and record stuff. Just neighborhood is just like, it is eerie. You gotta have background noise on, because there is nothing. Plane, trade, or automobile, man. I will summon it the second I get into the first sentence of whatever script I'm reading. Like, it doesn't even bother me. And I'm like, and there it is.
That's Murphy's Law, right? Every body immersed in a bathtub makes the phone ring.
Pedro Bates, I'm just cursed, but I have fun with it. Just roll with it. Like, what else are you going to do?
Your Honor, I assure you, I am not a cat.
But he is. Not bad.
Thank you, Nubbin. 43-month resub. Woo!
I got some pretty long Twitch subs now, because you can buy them in like 6 months at a time. Which is not as good as just like auto-renewing Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what tax thing prevents them from doing that? Because there's not like... That's an easy way for them to get money. So there has to be some financial thing that prevents them from doing that, because they would love it if you would just set it and forget it. Pedro's here with us too. He's doing something.
I am. I was reading the Asahi Lina about OBS browser.
What?
Oh, for Asahi, yes, of course.
That's like, you're packaging CEF with a bunch of extra words. Get it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I built that fucker.
I saw her. She was posting earlier on Mastodon, and it was the. I don't want to bundle up Ceph. I don't want to deal with it, but I have to. So fine.
You do. You do. You don't have to do that on x86 though. You can download that prepackaged. You can get a CEF, drop it in there, link it, tell OBS this is the browser now, and OBS will do its best. Yeah, nobody wants to build Chrome, man. Like, nobody wants to build Firefox for that matter. Like, nobody...
Browsers in general, no. I remember I think I built
Chromium once out of and I went to build Firefox, and I looked at it, and the build, whatever it was, it just caused me to know, but I'm like, no, don't care enough.
Yeah, the job I had in Portugal, because I was setting up, like, a front end for that company, and it was basically just a browser that would show a few specific pages. So I was just rebuilding Chrome to change the branding to say, instead of Chromium, to say
Chromium,
the name of the company. And yeah, I did it once. That was my, like, test case. I got it to work. It did the things. It showed, instead of showing the dinosaur when there wasn't an internet connection, it showed a please wait.
Well, what am I waiting for?
That was because usually when you turn the thing on, if it was a Raspberry Pi, it was like a minute of the please wait screen, and then it would find an internet connection and actually do it properly.
Dude, I want to live in Atomic's world, man. He's joined the 10 gig club. He's got a 5950X desktop that now moves data at 1 gig. I wish I could.
10 gigabit, 1 gigabyte. Yes, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope, isn't it? As soon as you get like 10 gig networking, you start realizing which disk are NVMe versus SSD real quick. Like, why is that only writing at 500 megabytes a second over the net? Oh, right. That one. Oh, right. Mm-hmm. Flatpak and Chromium. I mean...
But the Steam Deck Firefox is Flatpak.
That's awesome.
I guess it makes sense, because if you're not going to give people access to the Arch repo to update things, then you have to have a way to update the browser in a reasonable time frame. And Flatpak makes sense.
Why would you ever need to update a browser, Pedro?
What was the 0 day from Chrome the other day?
Internet, don't listen to the hype, man.
It was a 0 day in Chrome and Edge and Chromium, obviously. Probably Vivaldi as well. Although I didn't hear anything about Vivaldi, so...
Oh, you can always find out when there's a nice 0 day when you do an apt update, and it's the list of like Chrome, Chromium, Chrome Beta, Vivaldi, Brave if you have that installed, probably Edge. I've been playing around with them.
If you want to build a browser, build Gnome's Epiphany or Web. That's a WebKit browser, and it's a lot easier to build.
I don't know. I just use whatever. I've been using Firefox. I've been doing the Firefox challenge for the past, like coming up on 2 weeks, because we have the Debian packages. Firefox took the time to set up a nightly Debian repo. And like, you know what? I'll try it out. That it installs aside, next to Firefox ESR. And I went through the trouble of like importing all my Chrome, to give it a fair shake, right? And got the passwords and get everything. Not bad though. The one thing is Firefox does not have a like get bent dark mode. It's got a dark suggestion setting. Like, well, if the website supports it, and Chromium ain't having any of that. Chromium's very absolutist with its dark mode. This is like, it's dark, period. Here's 16 options of how I can make it dark, but it will be dark. There will be no argument and discussion on this topic, and I need this in order to browse websites. To burn my retinas out. I found a plugin for Firefox that puts everything in dark mode. But outside of that, performance seems all right. I haven't done any WebRTC, nor will I. We're just going to leave that out of the my impromptu mini review. And I did get I tried to run Firefox on my daily driver tablet, my Galaxy S6. That's an absolute dumpster fire experience.
I use Firefox on my phone, and it's better than Chrome.
In no conceivable way for me is it better than Chrome. The UI was made by a rabbit emu on a meth binge.
They give you the option. You can pick where you want the address bar, at the top or at the bottom.
No, I need tabs at the top like any other modern browser has for the past 15 years, man.
Most browsers on mobile don't have tabs.
Bullshit.
Laid out like that. They have
Chrome,
the tab menu.
Chrome, the one that comes with the operating system, has that layout. Most browsers, Pedro, you mean anything other than the Chrome that comes with Android?
Yeah, that's... I don't even have Chrome installed anymore. Otherwise, I'd check. But yeah, it used to be that it was...
I've been using Chrome on Android when like you would open a new tab, it would make the page black and white till it loaded. Like, get off my lawn.
I use Firefox on mobile because I can have the cookie shut the fuck up extension, and I can have the ad block shut the fuck up extension, and I can have a bunch of other extensions. Just, oh, look at that. A proper internet browsing experience.
I tried to use it. I did. I mean, I spent like 2 days with it, and I at the end of 2 days with me, I was like, I put up with this for 2 days, and I tried some extensions too. I'm like, it'd be neat to have like a script block set up, and then I had to get the dark mode extension, and the UI just comes across as methamphetamine to me. Maybe you like it. That's cool. It's a personal thing. Nobody's going to win that argument. I don't like it, and I didn't walk in looking to hate anything here. And it is not performant compared to Chrome, which is, I guess, to be expected.
That's always been the case, yes.
It was chuggy. Then again, I only have an 8-core Samsung tablet with 4 gigs of RAM. Oh, maybe if I had 8 or 12. I almost bought a 14-inch tablet.
Almost.
I put it in my cart.
I bought that 11 point something inch one for Nori. She likes it. So
that's what I was looking for. 11, 12 inch. I'm like, it's getting like, I don't carry around laptops or anything. Like, my daily drivers are tablets. That's my computing thing. So, I'll spend up like $500 on one every couple of years. Not a problem. And I was like, let's see how bad Samsung wants to ream, because Samsung makes tablets. They're the tablet company now. If you want a tablet from a company from a name you've heard of that will be around by the time your order arrives. Plus, it's really easy
Lenovo or Samsung.
Yeah, right. And easy to root and put a custom ROM on, because I run custom ROMs on all my Android devices. And I was looking at like one of I think it was 11.5, and it's like, hey, did you know Samsung had a 14.5 inch tablet? I'm like, that sounds ridiculous as hell. Let's see what just out of curiosity, I'm on Amazon going down that rabbit hole. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's not $1,000. It's cool. And they're like, buy used for $599. Like, dude, I was watching the reviews of that thing, and I'm like, I don't need that. That's ridiculous. This is so impractical. I love it.
Yeah, no, that's almost half the price just because it's used.
It's the absurdity of carrying around a 14.5-inch tablet.
That's laptop sized, yeah. That's business laptop size.
I feel like one of you people who carry around laptops. I decided against. I almost had myself talked into it again. I had almost defeated my better judgment. It's just, here's what stopped me is the keyboard folio for the thing.
Mm-hmm.
$300. Yeah.
Oh, that's Apple pricing.
That's get wrecked pricing on the. And it's, trust me, if it's a Samsung, they make some of the dopest keyboard clamshell snap-on things.
Mm-hmm.
And it, had the touchpad on it. And I'm like, no, we're not doing it.
Yeah, no, the keyboard folio for Nori's tablet was 80 pounds.
Mm.
The tablet itself was 200 and the folio was 80. So yeah, no, that's
Folio's not bad. Well, the Samsung, this thing flipped Android. It kicked DeX in and effectively turned it into a Chromebook. Laptop and I want something bigger than a 10-inch screen though. 10 inches is just too small. For me, it's not tablet. It's a usable mobile device is what 10 inches is for me. If you want to see something
brings back netbooks.
Absolutely adorable, watch me try to use like a 4 or 6 inch fucking device. It's hilarious. Mobile monitor? Dude, I got one of those. You're on the desk, man. That's where I got chat up right now. I got, what is it? What would it be under? Monitors, yeah. I got the one of this ones. That thing. And it's got the hole in it. You can stick a pencil through it.
You perfect.
It works, man. Oh, and you get that one used for $160.
For 144 hertz 2K screen, that's not bad.
Yeah. And it's got a hole in it. Put a pencil through it. Can't put a price on that.
What was the I think it was one of the
I just imagine this conversation that I know my Meat Space friends have definitely had of like, did he take you in the studio and like ask you what the hole was about? Because I've fucking done that enough. It's the hole, man. It's the pencil hole. Yeah, you can put a pencil through most LCDs, but you can only do it once.
Well, it depends. If you're really quick, you can probably just create a hole in that one spot. Everything else will stay working, so you can just keep reusing that hole.
I mean, they're good little monitors, man. It is like it's small enough to where it's not always on. It's like, oh, I need an extra monitor. Got it on. Like I need more chats now because we can do multiple chat. And I'm like, I need another monitor. And I just reach over and plug it on. Plug it on. Yes, plug it on. Steve's lost.
Reusing that hole.
No. So I'm going to carry it around like a CPU once it breaks. Like you put the hole in it, put it in your keychain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should do that with the 3700X because that one decided to just fuck itself over.
Shit.
I don't know why.
You know what? This has got That's got some wood in it, probably. At some point, a little bit. I've never had a CPU just go tits up on me, man.
That was working fine while I had it. I took it out of my box for
reasons. You want to look at it?
No, it's when I replaced it with the 5800X3D.
That necessary upgrade, yes.
It was a significant upgrade. I posted
I'd just be like, shut up, I wanted it. I'm like, cool.
It was a significant upgrade, and yes, I did want it, but it was significant. I posted the screenshot of the Talos Principle.
I didn't want it. I was forced to buy it. I needed it for...
No.
Shut up.
That's not what I said. I
wasn't doing a you impression. I was doing it from my perspective, like how I would justify purchasing it.
It was working fine, and then I went to go put it in Nori's PC, and Windows just crashed. As soon as it got into Windows, it would be up and running for like 20 seconds, and then Windows would just freeze, and sometimes you would get a blue screen and it would reboot, sometimes you wouldn't.
All right, let's do the obvious question. Had you ever run Windows on it previously?
No.
All right. Problem solved. That thing was probably knackered the entire time you had it.
Possibly. Though I find that unlikely. Because I used it for like 2.5 years, almost 3. It... It had thermal paste on both situations, on both my machine and before I put it on Nori's machine. I put some thermal paste on it. What are you talking about? Are you saying that GIF this whole time?
There we go. No, I just like that you have such confidence in the Redmond code quality. We're like, no, I mean, it would have never happened on Windows.
It's just weird that I ran it for as long as I did on Linux, and it never had anything
Linux
weird
broke
happen
it,
like
Pedro.
that.
It was running fine until you ran so much Linux on
it. I genuinely don't know what caused it, but I
dare you to send that support ticket into AMD.
It's fucking AMD. When it comes to support, they are shit.
But you run into weird stuff like that. Strider was talking in our Discord yesterday that he couldn't get a Ferngully up and running on his new motherboard and CPU. Why? The Nuvo kicked in. It was like VTech, but worse somehow. And he's like, no, you can't play. Then he tried to install it on his other PC, and it was like, yeah, it's fine. Everything works great. Tried it on the Steam Deck. It's great. Tried it on this one PC, and like, nope.
Yeah, that's the DRM bullshit. Yeah.
Taking a peek at the hardware, going, no, this is a hacker machine. Get run here, man.
That was the first time I had the CPU that I used for a significant amount of time. Never really had any issues with it. And I put it in another computer, and it goes, no, I'm not gonna work.
My 1700 was still chugging when I took that thing out of the box and I set up that test bench. What are you people doing talking about thermal paste? This is 2023. Why are you using processor lube in 2023?
Because it comes with the cooler.
Ew. Primitives.
It's either already pre-applied or you get a little squirty thing, then there
it is, and I put it next to the other pre-applied, well, the other squirty things, because, well, let's face it, probably everybody listening to the sound of my voice has a collection of thermal paste. I will go so far as to say thermal paste invalidates all heatsink reviews. There's too much variance in it. Even if you're using the same stuff. Variance between applications. You're dealing with microns here, man. Thermal pads come into play. Like if I was doing benchmarks on CPU coolers, I would use thermal pads.
Or get one of those templates that have the application thingy, and you just put the paste on the CPU and go, and they're effectively the same with each application, as long as you use the same amount of paste.
Even with that, even with the because what the thermal paste is it's filling in all the little micro spots, and you're never going to get that completely clean, and that's going to change between every application, like the amount that is in there to what extent. Like to me, that is a variable that can be eliminated in a benchmark. 100% eliminated with no need to work around.
Although the thermal pad, you don't get as good
thermal conductivity.
Yes.
Yes, but you get repeatable results, and I'll take repeatable results over
okay, reliability over performance.
Like if I'm doing a benchmark, I want to know, like, this pad's going to give me the same number no matter,
Applied heroin to my CPU.
But it doesn't matter what type of thermal paste you have. Like, it's all going to dry out. I mean, it becomes less efficient the second you put the cooler on, day by day. Unless you have liquid metal, then it just leaks all over your stuff and melts your motherboard.
That's the thing. If it's liquid metal, then you need it to actually destroy the IHS on the CPU a little bit so that it's properly bound.
Gallium will do that all by itself.
Yes.
And I talk a good game, but like if it's a system I don't care about, like Pedro's like pre-applied stuff, I'm like, clunk. There we go. Problem solved.
It's easy.
Like it's already there. Or you do the lie. You're like, we're just gonna use this to put it on to make sure it starts. 10 years later.
And it ended up being good that Nori didn't get the 3700X because she got a 5600X instead.
Yeah, it was I had my be still my wicked heart moment yesterday. I got a notification. Still on the lookout for that Epic motherboard. So I got a eBay notification, right? And I'm like, and it's got Acer naming on it. If you're familiar with Acer monitor naming, like it's like the HIZ or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, let's see who wants too much for this one. And I scroll up and it was like $109. So then your brain's got to go from good morning, like I have to be fully functional and ready to purchase this thing immediately before the next person is looking for this used motherboard. Thankfully, there were no telltales. You get there, you read the description. It's like, this thing's dead as a doorknob. Do not buy unless you know how to fix it. And even then, I was like, oh, can I fix the motherboard?
Does slathering it in flux and putting it in the oven for 30 minutes count?
Dude, I was looking up Supermicro's return, like RMA. I was like, how much is this going to cost me? So, would I come out better? Yeah, you always got to read the descriptions. Read the notification email completely before you have a panic attack and try to immediately buy something. I'm guilty. I've unintentionally bought broken stuff on eBay. 100%.
Oh yeah.
I didn't read the fine print, and you know what? I didn't bug the buyer.
No, if that was my cock up, then yeah, no, I'll eat that one. That's fine.
Yep. And maybe it wasn't broken, but I think we've all definitely ordered the wrong thing. And you're like, I got the wrong thing.
Like that one weird adapter that you needed one end to the other end, and it was the other way around. It's like, oh, fuck.
And then you got the thing, like for me, it would have to be probably over $100 before I would even consider trying to send it back.
Unless the listing was just straight up wrong. If the listing was just mislabeled, or
if I'm coming back and like this dude's trying to scam people, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have some fun. Oh man, this YouTube chat wants some attention. A person posted I guess it's a feline emoji, a cat or something like that leaking. And the pop-out YouTube chat, the bar on it, the scroll bar is just like blinking. It was like, look at me.
Oh, is that a super chat?
Probably not.
Oh no, it's just, it's the cat emoji.
The cat emoji. And like that scroll bar is not having it, man. It's like, hey. All right. We can do a show at some point.
I'm ready to go when you are. Once we're done, I'm going to sleep because, boy, does my head feel like I got hit with a shovel. I've had an entire box of paracetamol today.
Is that what it says in the box?
Yes.
And just big letters. Does it fit?
I'm not gonna stop hitting myself with shovels. I need the shovel so I can function, because of most of the day I was just in bed, in and out of consciousness the whole time. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna load myself up on caffeine to do the show, and then I'm going back to sleep.
Pedro's got the snuffles.
It's a flu, judging by how bad my back hurts and my neck. Yeah.
Pedro's like, I got the back pains. It's the flu. Like, you don't want. Have you ever see Pedro like a sore knee run? I don't know what a sore knee, what sickness that would indicate.
That's the thing. I'm trying to figure out. No, I don't know. Ooh, there's a Jordan.
Oh, quit bragging, Jordan. You get to hang out with your family in Florida, having all the fun.
Oh yeah, I know. I used to get the headaches on the weekends too, and that's when I realized this. Oh right, I'm not having as much coffee as I am during the week. Because during the week I'd have like 2-3 coffees a day, and on the weekends I wouldn't have any. So that was literally withdrawal.
We have tea though, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do you drink decaffeinated tea?
No. In fact, I go out of my way to buy like the strongest Earl Grey that I can find, which tea pigs. Seriously, as long as you guys keep that listing up on Amazon, I'm just gonna keep ordering it.
We gotta get Pedro a dark colored cup.
Oh yeah, no, this.
Yeah, mine looks like that, but you can't tell.
Yeah, a whole day of just drinking tea. So yeah.
All right. Speaking of that, do you want to go get up, do anything?
Oh, I might need to pee. Yes, good reminder.
Rub your back.
It's right the top of my back and my neck.
It's knee cancer.
It's coughing. All of the coughing literally causing muscle pain.
That's why you got to get a coughing couch.
Coughing couch?
A coughing couch.
Coughing couch?
Yeah. It's prescription only, though. You gotta go see, I want you to head out Monday. Go ask your GP.
Okay. I'm gonna go pee. I'll let you know.
I'm not seeing any good image results for a coughing couch. I'm disappointed. You got to do something like wild while you're in Florida, man. You got to see if you can make the GTA 7 trailer. I've not run into any like absolute like noteworthy craziness in Florida. My biggest memory from Florida is the random because fuck you, that's why toll bridges. Like this bridge costs money to go across. Is there another way? They're like, do you want to drive like 200 clicks out of your way? I'm like, not really. They're like, yes, then it does. But I've never, you know what? I've probably been to Miami. If I ever go to Florida, I'll go to Clearwater because I got 2 friends that live in that area just to visit them. West Palm Beach. Is there an East Palm Beach? Delray? Yeah, I don't know. I have a vague idea of like where Disney World is. Kind of the middle, right? I think like Miami. I don't know. I don't know. Isn't there like Pensacola? Yeah, I don't know. Pensacola is a place? All right. That one stuck out to me because it had the word cola in it. Let's check our shots. What Pedro's? Hey, episode 590. Pedro's got a unicorn pillow. And of course, it's a cussy unicorn pillow, too. All right. All right. Let's see how many times I accidentally cut the Jordan shot. And... all right. Good to go. Central time zone. What do I call the the board behind me with that's the fine upstanding cannibal wall 3.0, which I need to put in pulse mode. That is where I publicly shame people who buy anything off of the studio wish list because I thought that was a fun thing to do. Hello, Nadav Mavo.
Doom was 30 years old today. 1993, yeah.
You know what? I'm old enough. I think I'm legitimately old enough to where my thought And I wasn't messing with myself. I was like, man, I kind of wish I was 30 still. 30 again. But you're not deep enough in your 30s to...
I'm 36. I'm already past halfway. 37. I don't even know.
Yeah. At least you get a break out of abacus, man.
There you go. Okay, so I was born in 86. 37. Yeah, there you go.
I always think about that. I'm like, man, but I do not want to be 20 again.
Okay, 20 with the same knowledge you still have.
But you can't use it. You're just along for the ride.
No, fuck that.
Like, I would not want to deal with, like, no.
No.
I have very limited patience for 20-year-olds. I had limited patience for 20-year-olds when I was 20.
Yeah, no, if I could have the same knowledge and the same way of being, but just being physically 20 again, yeah. I couldn't. It would very much be me going back to a point where I couldn't grow any beard. But hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, early, 22, 23.
Look,
I've seen that lesson.
I was 5'6" when I was 16.
Uh-huh.
And when I was 18, I was 6'1", like I am now. So, yeah, in the last 2 years that most humans, develop, I grew about 20 centimeters. So,
listen, man, gravity was busy. It's ignoring you. Coming down extra hard. Pedro's got the power. Pedro takes off his glasses. You won't even know who he is.
If I take off my glasses, you still recognize me.
No, they wouldn't. They'll walk right by you. Like, that's a whole different person. Yes, Pedro is 27 meters tall.
Mm-hmm.
I think canonically by show standards, I'm like 7 meters tall at this point, so.
Centimeters, 7 meters, yeah.
Yeah. Kilofeet, whatever. Hectolux. Right. Listen, we don't need to use scientific measurements here. This is a friendly, casual show.
Deciinches.
Use Greek measurements.
I was genuinely surprised that people here still use stone as a weight measurement. So
Yeah.
how much do you weigh?
Yep.
Oh yeah, like 95 kilos. How much is that in stones?
Now,
15, but really?
fortunately, I never had to endure any nonsense because of my last name either. Mm-hmm. Growing up. Not once. Was never drunk.
Oh, you mean Schwing?
Sea-wing, man. Like, you sound like fucking shit. God damn it. Shadow Warrior's like roommate. Low wing. Sea-wing, yeah.
Teeny tiny rocks.
All right. Let me go make a drink and we're going to sit down and record a show. It's going to be reasonable.
Yes.
This is like the dessert time of gaming news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm glad I found the wine story, because it's like, oh, we don't have many new. Hey, wine. There we go. The obsolete computer brand's pretty good. Yes, yes. A duck. Ah. Dwang just sounds like someone hit the gong on the way out. Dwang. Alright, let's look up what the coughing couch is. Yes, coughing up blood. Let's go. Oh, there is an infection of the whooping cough. A cough going across the UK right now. Yay! Fuck's sake. Okay, that certainly explains why everyone's getting it. Yeah, alright. Cool. Whoop whoop, governor. And you guys take some water and boil it in your kettle. Ah, whooping cough. The 100-day cough, also known as the whooping cough, is a bacterial infection of the lungs and breathing tubes. Yeah. 100 days, though, that's... A lot of people have issues with the the booster vaccine. Yeah, have a good one, Jordan. Okay, so it's not just here, you guys having it too. Okay, so it's not actually 100 days. Cool. All right. It may last a few weeks. Cool. A few weeks is one thing. 100 days, that's a bit much. Ah. There isn't a Navy base around here, though. So, oop. I hit the microphone arm with the mug. My bad. Ugh. That is a strong possibility.
Possibly.
I know. I was looking up the coughing couch, and apparently there's a 700 and something cases of whooping cough running across the nation. I wonder if that's what I have. We'll see if this lasts for a few weeks. That's the thing. I did the COVID test. It's not the Rona. I'm gonna do him again tomorrow because I have to be in the office on Monday. So we'll see.
Calling sick.
Then the stuff I need to do, no one else will do.
Tell them to bring it to you.
It's stuff that needs to go out to people.
You know how to package stuff at home.
Yes. But the courier doesn't stop here to come and pick shit up.
Leave them a map. Like a treasure map too. Not a good one.
I'll just go in the morning, and as soon as I get all the stuff packed up and sent, I'll just come back home and work from home the rest of the day.
All right. Cool. Come on back, Pop. Nope, not having it. Fine. You never want to do too much cranking on your back or your neck. At least I don't, because I always assume it was going to like fall into a ball of jello.
If you're pushing yourself to the point where it can't actually turn anymore, then stop. No.
But right there, man, I can feel it. It's about to go clunk. Like, it's going to feel so good. Hi, floor. All right, everyone. Let's get this underway. Stop. Get our outro. Get our recording going. Done and done. One of these days I need to set up the web interface and a simple bot, and we can do Twitch plays Stream Deck.
Eh? Stream Deck, as in not the Steam Deck?
No, it's the Stream Deck. It's Stream Deck over IP, man. I can easily, just as easy to do it between PCs. I can do it web facing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And set up a bot where they can have stream commands, switch stuff, mute buttons.
Yeah, that's not gonna get abused at all.
What would you be willing to pay to mute?
Yeah, 500 bits and you get to mute someone.
That's what I'm saying, man. Do something like that. Put it on a timer. Like we do non-destructive recording. Like it would only affect the stream. It wouldn't affect the actual recording. If that wasn't so much work to do, I'd probably do something like that for a lark. But sounds really difficult. All right, everybody. Oh, I caught it.
Yeah, there's a line
there. I was getting ready to go too. I'm like, that's Jordan. I'm not even kidding. That is Jordan. That is his.
That's what's left of the.
Oh, boop. There we go. Now it's gone. Yeah. All I had to do was remove the I from BM Jordan. And welcome back to another LinuxGameCast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. Vinstone, a beautiful downtown Athens, Georgia. Switching the bits, I'll be trying to pilot the SS Nightmare train. Don't even think about why our plane flies. Plane? I don't know. What? Choo-choo?
Plane, train.
Maybe it's an automobile. Hey, movie, don't sue us, whoever owns the rights to that. That is Pedro Mateus. Jordan is currently in Florida auditioning for the next GTA trailer. Possibly getting some work doing mocap. It's going to be brilliant. But everybody watching us live over on YouTube, here on Twitch, helping us for him, Cocaine Voltron. Yeah. That's when the...
Two actual canes for that one.
I don't know. I want to like sit and watch like the video producer on YouTube and see if that's the moment it switches to like questionable content ad restriction. Or you never know, because like the YouTube detection stuff just is so rock dumb, man. And I'm like, whatever. It is the season. Pedro, you've been to a store this month, right?
Yeah, a few actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here in the States, we have the tradition of it's all Christmas music all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, relentless. Like it doesn't stop. It is just back to back to back. And every time I walk into a store during December, I feel like you've played Quake before, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're on a platform, like you're under a bridge or something like that. There's a lava field in front of you, but across that lava field is thing. And you know you're going to take damage to get the thing on the way there and back, but you got to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The second I walk into a retail outlet with a Christmas music blaring in the background, I just feel like my little Doom Bar guy is like dropping points the entire time I'm in there, and I'm like rushing to get out before it goes to zero, and I should go fall over dead. Pretty rough.
Okay. To be fair, now that Shane McGowan, R.I.P. in pieces, he's dead, so there's a lot more Fairy Tales of New York airing on the radio, and that song has actual cussing and swear words in it, so I'm okay with that.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. Damn. I don't know.
No, it's the, you come back, you maggot, you cheap lousy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's as Christmas songs go, that one's pretty good.
I'm done with it. I'm over it. Like I don't need any more cheer and joy. I'm glad if you enjoy it, but maybe it's empathy with like just the people working there, man. Because I assume they just don't hear it at a point, right?
Yeah, it becomes background noise. That's just a defense mechanism at that point,
dude. I don't know, man. What else you been up to, Peter? Outside of just being, you've just been sitting around the house illing all morning, all afternoon.
Yes. Coughing my lungs out. May or may not be the whooping cough that's sweeping across the nation. We'll see. No, I've been playing Weird West. It's like a real-time Fallout Wasteland type of situation, like the old Fallout's Wastelands, like that. but the combat is real time, and they do some clever things with how once you finish one of the characters, the story of one of the characters, you play through the game again as a different character from their perspective, and you can sort of find your original character and get them onto your party. It's really well done. I had suspected that I was going to enjoy that game, and I am very much doing so. Yes.
You see the new Fallout trailer, right?
The new
Fallout
show.
trailer.
Yes, I saw the original one that they released. I haven't seen the new one.
Well, the one from last week
Yes, I saw that one
with a sexy ghoul in it.
Mm-hmm. Sexy Ghoul and the Brotherhood of Steel.
I don't know. I thought
God, Bethesda, just let it go.
I don't know. What do you think of the power armor?
It looks like the power armor in Fallout 4.
And that's bad because
That's the thing. The way that the power armor worked in Fallout 4, like the whole you crank it open and you actually go inside, and it was significantly
this
larger.
is a lot more like a mech than a power armor.
Yes, it was more. It was more in line with how it was described, but not so how it worked for the most part in the original games. So fair, but Bethesda's obsession with the Brotherhood of Steel, it's like they fundamentally misunderstand the point of that particular faction.
It's a
They're the
better love story.
preservationists.
Listen, don't worry. They're going to make up for it with Starfield, the animated series, coming to Netflix.
Supposedly there's DLC coming out for Starfield. I wonder how that's going to go.
You know exactly how it's going to go. The type of people who play Starfield are going to buy the DLC for it. Like we were talking, and if you're a patron, go back and listen to our pre-super shows and the show we do before we even go live. We were talking about sunk cost, and you can get into that with video games just as easy. Like, I already have so much money tied up into this title. I got to keep playing it, man. Right?
Yeah. that happens a lot.
I don't know, man.
That's how Fallout 76 still has as many people playing it as it does.
Isn't that a free game?
No. That's a full-size AAA game.
Not according to the reviews.
According to the reviews, it's shit, and the reviews are correct. But yes, it is. It's very much an expensive game still.
But what if you like it?
I'm sorry. I can't. I genuinely can't. I mean, I've played 20-something hours of Fallout 76 because that's a Fallout world where you can do Fallout things, but the story is so shit. And the fact that it has to be online the whole time, and it takes a full 3 seconds when you shoot something to death, it runs up to you, hits you, and then dies. That's how bad the network lag is. It's bad. That game is just bad.
No, that's okay. Don't worry. Maybe we'll get Fallout 76 Horse DLC. Pedro.
It's a little mushy, but hey, it's the Steam.
Oh, you're doing that now? All right, try it again. 3, 2, 1. Go save man.
It's the Steam.
Of the week? Yeah. Done.
Update of the week. Yeah.
Problem solved. See, we adapt instantaneously, flawlessly. You can't trip us up. Again,
Flawlessly?
flawlessly. I can make it worse in post.
I do not doubt it. Well, one of the things that Valve is very much trying to not make worse is SteamOS, and the preview. It's been a little rough. I've been on the betas for a while, and I can say it's been a little rough at times. So with the December 2nd 358 preview, they've basically done all of the fixes, 100% bug fix and improvement updates for everyone living that preview life. Seriously, major kudos. I had to actually fall back to stable for about a week there because whenever I tried to open the on-screen keyboard while I was in a game, it just wouldn't. It would show up for like 1/100th of a second and then just disappear again. So yeah, it's rough, but hey, they've a lot of fixes. That's very good. Looking forward to seeing the HDR stuff coming.
What about this name, though? I mean, we got 358. It's preview. I'm just going to let you know. I'd be scared to install that, Pedro, because they named this release Flatline. I'm like, if I already got a broken deck, I don't have a keyboard that doesn't work. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we're just going to skip this one.
Yeah, no, I seriously, major respect to everyone who's running the preview build on the Steam Deck. I guess you're not playing video games much at all, but hey.
How did they manage to fix elevated noise levels with the trackpad? I did not know the Steam Deck had a shouty trackpad on it.
It has the haptics. You can set the different levels of haptics for the trackpads.
Can you make it scream?
Probably. You could probably get the...
I mean, you might remember, like, dude, there was an afternoon once we realized we could make these play music.
Yes.
I'm holding up a Steam Deck, Steam controller, the OG, and we're like, wait a minute, this thing sings. I'm like, ooh, all right, let's get on the forums and download it. All right.
Yeah, it's the probably something to do with the haptics just being a little too tappy as people were using them. I don't know. I just disabled the haptics altogether usually.
Well, obviously, if you're trying to pull up an on-screen keyboard all the time.
That doesn't require the haptics.
You better.
I mean, you can. You can use the trackpads to do the 2-thumb typing.
Well, now
once
I'm thinking
the keyboard is up.
I just thought about that because you do have the haptics left and right?
Mm-hmm.
Little thumb. Does the keyboard support swipe?
I don't know. I haven't heard anyone mention it, so probably not.
Probably not. You would have like stumbled on it by now. We're like, oh, look, it does this thing. Because I was wondering if you get like 2 swipes going on with like left and right at the same time. It wouldn't work, but it'd be dope to watch it try to figure it out. Like, punish software.
I'm trying to think how that would work. No,
Oh, it wouldn't. It would fail spectacularly, but it would be great to be like, look at it, not do the thing right.
Because that's the thing. Even with the original Steam controller, the 2-thumb typing on the on-screen keyboard, that was really well done. That was a very nice thing, and I'm glad that the deck has that functionality because it didn't when it first came out, but it does now, so that's good.
Another thing that you're going to be able to do on your Steam Deck, your new Steam Deck, your HDR, your OLED, the new hotness, the new sexiness is play your PlayStation 5 games. But I hear you, man. You're like, that's already been a thing. I'm like, yeah, right. True. How do you pronounce this project, Pedro?
Chiaki?
Chiaki for deck. It's been around. Been around for a minute. And then, it does what it says on the tin. It was doing it before PlayStation was like, hey, we can sell you this. And it lets you stream your PS5 games to your Steam Deck. Now, there is a new thing. This just got merged today. Well, yesterday, technically. Yeah, today, whatever, however you want to read it. HDR streaming and rendering. No longer being done through OpenGL. They're going to be using some Vulkan magic to make this work. And Pedro, even people like you with an LCD deck, you can download this, hook it up to your PS5, and pretend, Pedro, because you're a peasant without an OLED deck. Like, what would be the point for your HDR? Is HDR even a thing that you care about?
The HDR is a thing on even the regular LCD first generation decks.
Mm-hmm.
You need to. It's one of those things that on Linux you need to be running GameScope for it to work. So it makes sense. I
respect their logo here. They're like, anybody know what this is? Nope. Cool. Put it up.
I have no idea.
No.
Is it a chicken?
Dude, if we play enough Jackbox, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
We'd all lose on that one.
But yeah, no, it's like HDR content, especially with the new generation of consoles, is becoming more and more prevalent. So I'm very much down for, even if it is just the fine folks of the Linux community proving that Sony's PS5 portal was a shit idea and it should have never have existed. But hey, you'll probably have a better experience with the deck streaming stuff from a PS5, even if it's just you're away somewhere and you're connected to the Wi-Fi and you can stream your stuff if you can deal with the network.
Well, if you got a PlayStation 5, like you never cut these consoles off. They're just always on. Like,
yeah, it's the same thing with the PS4, unless you specifically turn it off. And when you do, it gives you big scary warning on screens like, if you turn it off, we can't run updates in the background. Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Really?
Yeah.
No, man. Here's what I'm thinking about this though. This is like your Steam Deck's the device that Sony would like to have released, I think. Because once you're done playing with your PS5, like Sony would have loved to make, all right, for that price and like with that profit margin, like Sony's not unfamiliar with releasing handhelds. At least I've heard that rumor. They may have released a handheld or two over the years.
They did, but they mismanaged every single release badly.
The new device that they have is basically, the Steam Deck is better in every possible way. But here's what I'm worried about. OLED Steam Decks, notoriously bad Wi-Fi.
It's not just the OLED. There's been a running issue with the Wi-Fi chips on Steam Decks. On mine, every now and then I have to either turn off or turn on power saving, because otherwise it'll just keep dropping the Wi-Fi connection. And it's completely random whether it's on or it's off that it doesn't.
No, I'm talking more about throughput, because I watched Strider spend a solid 2 days in our Discord with his OLED deck before he managed to get the right moon glyphs plugged into where it was on parity with his LCD other decks. He's got like 15 now. HDR does require more bandwidth. Oh,
makes sense. Yes.
I don't know. Do you have any OLED monitors? Is it yes or no? You don't. So no, he doesn't.
Monitors, no.
No.
But yes, there are OLED displays in this apartment. Yes.
Bigger than
Norris tablet.
Okay. Is it amazing? Do you look at it and go, man, I want like 22 inches of that minimum?
I tried like whenever she's playing a game and there's like a dark border around it, you genuinely can't see where the end of the bezel for the screen is and where the actual screen begins, because it's just that bit's just off. So yeah.
I don't really have that feel, man. Like OLED is, I look at I've obviously messed around with OLED monitors and high refresh rate monitors, and it's the exact same thing. I'm like, that's neat. Then I just go back to my thinky 60 hertz IPS monitor. I'm like, yeah, this is good. But I guess it's going to be like one of those things. It's going to be a long time though. It's like, oh, you can get an OLED monitor or a display, obviously, like even in the Steam Deck now for reasonable-ish money, but it's not like the omnipresent, like you just can't avoid it. That's when I'll get a OLED display.
The idea behind OLEDs is sound, especially for mobile devices, because hey, if you're not lighting up a chunk of the screen because it's just showing darkness, then yeah, that saves a lot of battery. And you still have to worry about possible burn-in if you're playing games that have fixed UIs on screen the whole time.
That's a myth. I've never seen a game with a fixed UI. What are you trying to scare people?
Maddie brought it up in Discord before the show. It's 30 years of Doom. So yeah, that UI at the bottom, that's pretty much there the whole time.
Man, a little bit of a side tangent. That bugs me. Don't shake your UI in a game, people. That is annoying as hell.
How do you indicate that you're getting hit?
I'm playing solitaire, man. We do have a new game to talk about this week. Goober Dash.
Oh no.
Goober Dash. And you know what? This is a game, not only is it called Goober Dash, it's probably safe to play on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
My first thought looking at this is like, this is clearly we have goobers at home because it is a 2D platformer. It's Battle Royale. Fine. Up to 32 players. Online PvP. It even comes with a level builder. And it's an early access. And we look for stuff like this, to always play in the after show. I mean, it looks well enough done. I mean, compared to like, It's like Fall Guys-ish, or what is the...
It is, yeah. It was Stumble Guys, Fall Guys, very much that, but in 2D. And the emphasis here is like they're showing on the trailer now. It's like, create, share, and play. Do your own level type of
Mario
situation.
Maker. Yeah, with bus cells.
That's... Yeah, absolutely. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm down for that. It's made with Godot, Pedro.
Good. More things should be using Godot.
The reason I want to bring this up, Winter Pixel Games is it's priced to sell free.
That's very good.
Yeah, and it partially your DualShock controller and your Xbox controller. Do you have an Xbox controller?
No, I have a few of them that can do X input, including the cheapo one. But no, I don't have a proper Xbox controller.
What type of controller does Nora use?
She doesn't. I've tried. Like, I've actually offered to give her the DualSense. And she's like, I don't like controllers. I like mouse and keyboard. It's like, yes, the true PC gamer.
Don't you know that Skyrim is better experienced with a controller?
She's played over 1,000 hours of Skyrim with a mouse
all
and keyboard.
Inferior. How much better quality of life she would have.
I don't know. I could try asking her, but no, she's she started playing Dark Souls 3, and that's when I said, if you want a controller, you can have this one. And I think she played it for 20 minutes. She spent most of that time trying to defeat Udex Gundyr.
Like, is that the first guy?
Yeah, the tutorial boss.
Oh, jeez, I hated him.
It's and she's like, you know what? No, I'm just not my kind of game.
Which is the right way of like bouncing off that. I'm like, I don't like rhythm games.
That's the Udex Gundyr is very much if you know how to do parries.
Watch a speed run, you can kill him in 8 seconds. Yeah. Like, that's another thing that like sucks. Like when I watch people play like Liza P or any Dark Souls speeds run, I'm like, yeah, it's a FromSoft game, dude. You can break your way through this without too much in the way of effort.
And eventually you'll figure out the overpowered move, magic. At least for the Dark Souls games and Elden Ring, it's just focus on magic. That's the secret hidden easy mode.
What do we got up next, Pedro Mateus?
Up next, we have The Long Dark. Yes, that one game that actually had a native Linux version when survival games were effectively a brand new thing and everyone was doing them. The Long Dark actually had a proper Linux version, and I streamed it. It was one of the games that I streamed. And somehow it's still getting updates. I saw the little card show up above the Steam library. It's like, okay, all right. Apparently they're the 4th episode of the Buried Echoes.
Okay, you can't show me that without like I want hang on. Matrix music. Let's go.
Yeah, no, they're doing the Tales from the Far Territory, the 4th episode, Buried Echoes. It's out. If you paid for the expansion a while back, you get some new stuff as well. And you can get scurvy now, you cur.
Apparently we're just walking around, we're just killing stuff now.
Yeah, no, they always had the like the skinning animals, and you would get the occasional shotgun shell to shoot the wolves. But the known issues thing was the one that basically jumped out at me. Let's see if I can find the relevant ones. There we go. In new saves, broth weighs about twice as much as it should. When updating to the latest version of The Long Dark, version 225 from an earlier version, broth can no longer be consumed and has 0 caloric value.
Good.
It's like, okay, all right, so we're just dealing with broth issues now.
I'm glad, because it didn't look like he was stabbing a deer there, does it? No, it doesn't.
No.
All right, then. Hey, it's got matches.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
it is impressive.
A lot more than a walking simulator.
Yes.
But it's a survival walking simulator, and I hate it, so...
It is very much the Nenny Bar simulator, yes.
My feeling on that will get me to just... Oh, man. All right, don't hate on things. Is there any Nenny Bar simulator game that you played and didn't immediately die? Trying to think of one right now that I didn't immediately bounce off of, like within like, nope, I'm not playing this. And what I'm talking about, people, is when you get into a game and like your health bar just starts going down. Like Christmas music immediately cuts on.
Yeah, it's like, you're hungry, you're thirsty, you can go fuck yourself. The one that had survival elements that I didn't immediately bounce off of was Fallout New Vegas. Because that one had hardcore mode, which very much had the...
Now, can we stretch this conversation to weapon durability?
Fallout New Vegas also had that, yes. And I am very much of the opinion that if we're playing a fucking video game, we don't need that shit.
I've liked 2 games enough to deal with weapon durability. Witcher 2 and Witcher 3. That's it. If it's got it in Witcher 4, I'm going to be mad. Still going to play it, though.
What is it? The weapon durability and limited inventory space or carrying capacity?
That doesn't bother
I get
me.
that it's realistic.
That helps people. That helps people in the real world. I'm like, she's dialing your hoarding back a little bit, okay, buddy?
But that's the thing. It's
Make
not
some
the real
executive
world.
decisions.
Let me hoard as much as I want.
Make some executive decisions. Those paper clips, I don't even know where you got them in a medieval fantasy game. You don't need them. Get rid of them.
And the whole, it's just one of the reasons that the Dark Souls and Elden Ring and Bloodborne are better video games. Okay, some of them do have weapon durability, Dark Souls 1 and 2 specifically. But they don't have a limited inventory space. You could just pick shit up and go. And that's great.
And by Dark Souls 3, he had been through enough therapy.
That's the thing. I don't have to go back to town and deal with the same fucking merchant, and then the merchant runs out of money and I have to go to another fucking merchant.
In a way, I respect like the latest Zelda games where the weapons just straight up break.
Yeah, but those break after like 3 hits too. That's very much the whole, no, you're just going to be breaking everything, so get used to it.
And I don't mind the mechanic, and they did it kind of strange in like Liza P, to where it's easy to repair your weapon. You just stop and you sharpen it, but if you wear it down, it will eventually break and it basically becomes unusable. Witcher mechanic is they become wooden sticks effectively. They're not doing anything. They never break. You can always go back and repair them. Why are we talking about swords and slashing and all the goblins? Wow. Dun, dun, dun. We're talking about Skyrim.
Hey, special
Creation
edition.
update. Patch notes. Oh man, Skyrim job's back, baby. Why are we talking about it? Well, we gotta take a journey through this. That's because they've added Steam Deck support. Would have lost that bet. They went back. You know what? I wouldn't have lost this bet because Skyrim, there's an internal memo, there's a mission statement at Bethesda to where they have to, every 2 years, find a new way to sell Skyrim or somebody loses their job. If you're on that team, you have to come up with a new and exciting way. And I'm just making that up. If somebody at Bethesda is like, how did he know that? I don't want anybody getting fired, man. I'm just guessing. Now supported on Steam Deck, whether your adventures take you on the road or just the couch, enjoy Skyrim. And period. That's it. That's all you get. Ultra-wide monitor support. Pedro, you were a little bit miffed about you need more from, because, Bethesda's like, hey, man, our game works on the Steam Deck now. Just like, that's not good enough.
That's the thing. You don't need official support for your game to work on the Steam Deck. Regular Skyrim has been working on the Steam Deck since the Steam Deck came out.
But we wanted to say Steam Deck verified so it shows up higher.
Sure, I guess. But yeah, no, you have that bit there that you showed. It's like, yeah, it's available on the Steam Deck, and it says nothing at all. Mm-hmm. Then you scroll back down to the changelog and it says feature support for Steam Deck.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means it works on the Steam Deck. Like, I thought that would be. For me, I feel like that's the end of the transaction. I'm like, we're good.
I want to know what they did. I want to know what
made it work on the Steam Deck.
It was already working on the Steam Deck.
now it more works.
That's okay. No, I can see why they'd want to make that very obvious, because they just released the paid mods again. So they want to make sure that people playing it on the Steam Deck can buy the mods too. Absolutely. That's a return on investment that doesn't cost them very much at all, given that Proton's a Valve thing. So yeah, the irony isn't entirely lost on me either, seeing a very Linux hostile Bethesda actually supporting the deck. Mm-hmm. But if you do a Control F Linux or SteamOS, nothing. They mentioned the Steam Deck, and that's it.
Yeah, I got a Steam Deck. Listen, dude, I got a Steam Deck. I don't need to know about your hacker Linux. I'm not putting Linux on my Steam Deck, dude. It'll violate the warranty. Yeah, no, don't put Linux on your Steam Deck.
Jesus, just man. Use whatever it comes with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get to use putting alternate OSs on my. You Linux nerds want to put Linux on everything. But what you did touch on, if you're of a certain age, there was a hot moment many, many years ago when Bethesda's like, you know what would make all these community-made mods better? If you gave us money for them, that'd be dope. And everyone was like, all right, sure, that sounds great. So they set up a store on Steam for paid mods. And it was adorable because immediately you ended up with mods, because mods require other mods and other mods require those other mods. You would end up with a paid mod that was utilizing free mods. And unsurprisingly, people had problems with this. It was such a dumpster fire that it was, I would say, quickly killed. But fortunately, Bethesda is pretty sure that Goldfish memories kicked in. So we're going to have
what are you talking about? There were no issues with that.
None. Now you can apply to become a creator and sell your Skyrim mods. Again, because that is okay. Good luck with that. I don't think this is not got the universal hatred that we saw with the initial thing, but you got to apply for it. So a portfolio.
It is the Creation Club that they've had paid mods for this whole time, even if they didn't specifically call them that, because it was it's the Creation Club. It's only the mods that we officially sanction that are available to be bought, and now they're expanding those sanctions to everyone else.
Bethesda Game Studios Verified Creator Program is what it's called. You can get royalties for your work.
Not paid mods. That.
Paid mods sounds about, I don't know, accurate.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Is it? No, I guess this is like maybe one of my disadvantages. I'm such a shill for Steam, is like, I don't know, like Bethesda's got its own game launcher, right?
They had.
Oh.
You dealt with it, with you and Jordan with
Oh, we had that shit on Steam, baby.
Wolfenstein. But yeah, you had to sign in and out of the Bethesda thingy.
We had to do that on the website.
Yes.
It was so deliciously broken.
And they had what was it called, BethesdaNet or whatever, for Fallout 76, until they realized that Fallout 76 was shit, and keeping it on the Bethesda exclusive thing and not on Steam was a bad idea. So I think they just shut it down.
So this is going to open up where I'm assuming like we've added Steam Deck support as like, where's the financial to make sure that you can get to like this new thing of like buying stuff easier on the Steam Deck? Where do you go to buy? Is it like Bethesda's website? Are they going to be able to do this through Steam again?
You can do that in game, at least with the Creation Club on both the Skyrim Special Edition before and Fallout 4.
Oh, that is a wet dream for a game developer.
It was just built into the game.
Purchases. You'd have no friction whatsoever. Just give us your credit card. We'll take care of the processing.
It probably, once you actually paid, because I never paid for any of them. So
basically, we're just guessing right now. So feel free to write into the show and let us know how it works.
That's the thing with some games that I've bought microtransactions for. Even if it's built into the game, once you click buy, it opens up the overlay to like give you a choice of how you want to pay. So
back to the question I'm asking, like, can you buy, like, because the overlay, that might have been what they fixed, or I don't know, like it could be integrated. I'm guessing they didn't update the game, but there has to be games where
they updated it. They broke the Skyrim script extender again.
That was an accident, but we got some new mods that will they're paid, mind you, that'll fix that.
Yeah. No, the creators of a Skyrim script extender released the update that works with the newer version recently, but that was very much the thing. It's there are several thousands of mods that aren't going to get updated to work with the newer versions of Skyrim, and how they keep changing the internal structure of the master files, and how basically Skyrim modding and whatnot. It's been kind of an issue, especially since they changed from the DX9 regular Skyrim to the special edition, which was the DX11 one.
Yeah.
That effectively broke compatibility with all of the previous mods. People had to update all of the mods for the original Skyrim to the new one if they wanted them to keep working. And there were a bunch of mods that just never got that. And
is this a problem that's unique to Skyrim?
It's right now seems to be a problem that's unique to Bethesda games, because they've done that with Fallout 3 as well. They updated Fallout 3 after like 6 years since the last update to remove the games for Windows Live integration. That was a good idea, wasn't it? And yeah, they broke the Fallout 3 script extender and a bunch of other mods.
Just come buy them from us. Our mods work.
Yeah,
there might be a plan here. That's all I'm getting to. You don't really want to go up against Bethesda and like really, ascribe like maliciousness to Bethesda. I'm like, no, they're probably just dumb enough to fuck this up all by themselves without having an ulterior motive to it.
Yeah. They're very much just looking to make money out of it.
Listen, money will show up one way or the other. A little bit of news this week. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Linux gaming. Which distribution is faster than Windows 11? That's for games. More of a literal translation, but you're not going to like it. This comes from Computer Base. You want to read this?
Google Translate says which distribution is best way to run Windows games.
Yeah. So computerbase.de, there was a notebook check thing Pedro put in, but I was like, come on, this is pictures. We can work through this.
It's the English take on this particular article. Yes.
All the details are in this. Everything's going to be in our show notes after the fact. So what are we talking about? Well, Computer Base decided to do a thing. They're like, let's benchmark a couple of Linux distributions up against everybody's favorite new version of Windows, Windows 11. They decided to use Arch, Nobara, and Pop! OS. 5 games are benchmarked, and we're talking Cyberpunk 2077, Forspoken, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, Starfield, and hey, Talos Principle too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty dope. Now, there's probably
There's a page 2. Yes.
on. Here we go. Here we go. FPS and frame times. Basically, let me tell you how this boils down. Windows 11 was 1.6 frames per second faster in Ratchet and Clank, making it the better all-around operating system. That was the only one that beat any of them in.
Okay, to be fair, the 1% lows in frame times, Windows 11 seems to be better.
Whatever.
That one, Windows
Winning
11.
an internet argument over here, Pedro.
That one is absolutely, that's a fair one. It's like, okay, if you are valuing consistency and reliability
Nope.
over
I value
raw
winning.
performance, then yeah, in that case, Linux is very much mopping the floor with Windows 11, apparently.
But let's look at the average, because let's face it, that's what you really cared about. Everyone pretends about, they put on their top hat and monocle, like, yes, let's address 1%. Like, get the fuck out of here. We're talking about who's got the biggest number. That's what sells cards, and that's what installs distros. So Cyberpunk 2077, Windows 11 comes in at 82.3, with Pop! OS being the slow chuggy boy at 72.
Pop! OS being Ubuntu based, yes.
Yeah, it has that going against it. Arch Linux,
old packages, yes.
Arch Linux is doing 88, so definitely that's noticeable from 82. And then we get Nobara up here at almost 90, 89.6. So pretty dope. Now, our next game is a game that doesn't run well on anything. This is probably going to be one of the next games I play, because I got the feels that it's going to be one of those like $199 games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like I got a Marvel's Avengers Ultimate Edition with all the DLC and stuff for $3. It's going to be one of those games. I'm looking forward to playing it. What do we got? Windows comes in dead last. And I should say this is all at 1080p at 144 hertz. There you go. Boom. Safety's coming. Windows 11 at 82. Arch at 87. Pop! OS at 88, doing a little better. And Nobara at 88. Nothing, outside of like get wrecked Windows, right?
Yeah, the Linux is pretty much effectively all the same there.
But then when we get to the real test, Ratchet and Clank are ripped apart. Compared to the anemic, barely playable 109 FPS from Nobara, Windows comes in with a decimating, practically a different game, a much higher fidelity, better experience at 110.6.
We around here we call that run-to-run variance.
Yeah, you might, but see, I'm a trained internet benchmark reading professional. Pop! OS at 108 on that. 108 between Arch and Pop. Starfield, everything runs like ass.
Yes. Although Starfield, we talked about it a couple of weeks back. Hans, I can't remember the rest of his name, the VKD 3D Proton person, released the new version of VKD 3D specifically to address some of the no-nos that Starfield was doing, much like he did for Elden Ring at the time when it first came out. So, yes. Both Starfield and Elden Ring running better on Linux than they did on Windows.
No, this one's kind of fascinating though, because Arch, Nobara, and Pop all get 52 FPS. Windows 11 does 49. You would think with a 5800X and a 6700X T Nitro, you'd be doing better than 49 FPS at 1080p in a damn game, wouldn't you? You would think.
Considering it's the Bethesda game, it should be doing 60 regardless. But
if I threw that hardware combination at that, and I'm a 1080p gamer, and I wasn't getting 60, I'd be smashing that refund button, fam.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know what happened or what they're doing exactly, but Starfield does not run very well, especially if you start cranking everything up to its highest settings.
Last but not least, the Telos Principle 2. That's right, Crash Dummies in Space. Windows, again, dead last. 65.1. All right. Arch 69. Nice. Pop OS 69. Nicer. And Navara at 71.5. What's our takeaway? The 1% lows on Starfield and Linux and
yeah. The takeaway is basically Windows does better with the 1% lows. Yes.
That's great. That's what I look for in my video games is my 1% lows. It's
well, it's not just you then, because if you go to the netbook check comments, besides, if you're a Linux user and you've gotten into the argument on occasion that maybe the performance isn't as high on Linux, but it's more consistent, well, then you'll be surprised, or not at all, to see Windows users making the exact same comments.
Where? Okay. A clean install of Windows 11 will have some security features enabled. Cut them off, right?
Yeah, unless you don't like
security comes with a performance penalty. Linux doesn't have performance security. All right, whatever.
There's some genuinely Linux user level comments on that one, and yeah, we've seen those before, and Windows 11 is shit. When people start to realize that, everything just...
Pedro, this is twofold though, because it puts Windows, because some people are genuinely fans of operating systems, and I will say this to Windows users, Mac users, and Linux users, for me, an operating system's a tool. It's a device. It's something I use to get shit done. It ain't my BFF. But this puts Windows fans in an interesting place because they got to defend the Windows. But they got to defend Windows 11, which nobody likes.
That's the latest Windows, so yeah.
Yeah, it puts them in a bind, though, because they shit-talked Windows 11. Now they got to stick up for it. They do. Hey, yeah, no, man. Leave old 11 alone, man. He's Windows, he's part of the family, even though I don't want to use it. But
it's the... I was just reading one of the comments is would love to see the actual facts of these tests. How much work went into testing which Proton to use for each game and such. I like Linux a lot, but use Windows 11 because it just works. You don't know what you're talking about. As someone who has to support that piece of shit operating system, fuck you.
I double click on the MSI and stuff. It's MSIs now.
It's so bad. Seriously. The fuck?
Out of the box. Listen, after I spent a day or two going to 15 different websites to download drivers from individual vendors, everything ran out of the box.
Go to shadyexe.ru and get all of your pirated software, yes?
I don't know. End of the day, just run whatever works. But I mean, this is just good. And yeah, you know what? I would like to see. This is better than nothing. This is better than nothing. And it's a good look for Linux. And it forces ridiculous conversations like, well, you should have just run Windows 10 or you have to disable security. Like no, don't.
You can disable the Spectre and Meltdown mitigations on Linux too. Most likely won't make much of a difference for performance, but yeah, you can.
I don't know about for gaming, but yeah, I absolutely have Spectre and Meltdown mitigations disabled. 100%. Because they make a big difference in real-time performance.
Well, yes. Yes.
I mean, up until that page was like, Ben just disabled him for fun, I bet.
I don't know. It's maybe for
It's a power
video
show.
editing or some other specific type of workload that you were doing. I wasn't aware of the actual
You can benchmark. I can, yeah. I can show you I can make one of those charts with numbers on it and shit, dude. It's pretty dope. I know how to do that.
And no, I don't disable hyperthreading.
You need to, man. You got to be ultra secure. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Think about it. You got to unplug the ether noodle from the back, air gap it.
Honestly, I don't. I keep them on because I haven't had anything that I noticed performance wise. So I just keep the mitigations on.
You give me a switch, I'm going to use it.
Yeah. You have that? You very much have that switch?
I use, and I put big blinking red text up in videos like, don't do this. Wake. What do we get up next? Oh, right. Overpriced laptops. Because it's got Linux on them.
Very much so.
It's been a while since you pissed off a laptop vendor. Go for it.
Well, to be fair, the Tuxedo laptop that they sent us was actually pretty good. This one, it was looking really good. It's an all AMD. It's the Sirius 16, the first gen one, which has a 100 watt power reported power drain for both full CPU and GPU workloads. So that's almost 10x that of the Steam Deck. It has an RDNA 3 GPU and a 165 hertz refresh rate.
They've already lost me.
2560 by 1440 screen.
I can't support this. I can't. I prefer boring binary stars.
But it's so exciting. Yeah, it is a high end.
Tell you what that looks like. It's not now.
It is very much a high end all AMD Linux laptop from Tuxedo. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that's absolutely something that I could get down with. Starting at 1,700 euros. Well, then I suppose.
Why is the touchpad on the left side? Who the fuck uses?
I think that's to account for people who are right-handed because they're
like
more.
That's probably just like the Australian model.
No, because right-handed people tend to use their right hand to go from the keyboard to the touchpad, so it's in a more comfortable position if it's slightly off to the left.
Oh.
It's annoying. I much prefer when touchpads are dead center, but hey.
Man, how many years deep are we into USB 4.0 with fuck nothing to show for it?
How about that Thunderbolt 3 compatibility?
Oh, look at these hinges, man.
Yeah, no, it's got some chunk hinges. It's not 1,700. It's not 17. Yeah, no. Like the RDNA 3, the 7600.
Like, yeah, I'm down here. Like, I already know this thing's fuck you expensive. Like, by this, like, right around when I saw these hinges, like, that ain't cheap.
It's pricey. It looks very good.
It's got a numpad on it. You know that thing's expensive. How much numpads cost?
It is a 16-inch laptop. So yes, it has a numpad. But
let's build one.
That price though.
I'll build one.
That price is a little bit much.
Our CPU options is that.
Yes.
You do want 32 gigs of RAM though, right? I do.
Yes.
We're not YOLO building. This is a mass storage. I want a minimum 1 terabyte NVMe. Does it have a storage expansion?
It has. You can have 2 M.2 SSDs.
Okay, so that way I'll get a 1 terabyte. Is there an option for none? Yes. All right. I'm being real here. I'm like, if we're going to order this, upgradable later. Nope. You know what? Let's live a little Dvorak keyboard. Wi-Fi, and which one's cheaper? Oh, you can get it without Wi-Fi. It doesn't cost any less. Well, you might as well get the Wi-Fi's.
Yeah.
Operating system, Tuxedo OS. Well, no.
You can go with Windows if
Without
you
Linux.
yourself.
Without virtual windows. 2 years. Yep. Ooh, that extra year is pricey, ain't it? 149 euros. EU power cord, UK power cord. And chassis logo. No, what? You got to pay extra money for them to take off the sticker? That, what's worth?
I don't know if it's a sticker, though.
It's either that or replace a key, Pedro.
Yeah, they'll probably just replace the whole back of
I guess we're getting a tuxedo logo. All right. What are we at, ladies and gentlemen? Dun, 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 dun. Can I get this to like scroll up and hey, 1.689 euros.
Yeah, 1,700 euros.
I mean, that's not horrible, and it's made in Germany.
Yeah, it is. And again, even the Clavos that they rebadge, they specifically pick the right ones and they make sure that they work properly. The one we had, I don't remember. It was one of the 13-inch ultrabooky ones. That was a genuinely nice laptop. That, as ultrabook, like super thin, questionable performance laptops go, that one was genuinely really nice, and it wasn't absurdly priced. That getting close to 2,000 euros is a bit much.
You can say it's a bit much. I don't think it's a bit much for that much laptop, though.
It has the specs, sure, but that's still way too pricey.
I mean, again, you buy if you want to go buy a Dell, dude.
I am the one who buys Dells.
Yeah, like you're like the worst case scenario Heisenberg, man. The weird timeline. Like, no, Skylar. Another one.
I am the procurement person, yes. Yeah. So yeah, you have to buy Dell laptops, so Dell laptops it is.
What Pedro's trying to allude to, he's also doing a methamphetamine distribution franchise as well, but
people weren't supposed to know that.
Yeah. It explains the deep fryers in the server room. It's all stuff coming together. Yeah, $1,600 for a laptop's about what I would expect to pay for a laptop that I'd want to carry around.
No,
I mean,
that's way too much.
You know, if that's going to be my only computer, I'm not going to get some budget bitch ass laptop. You know, if that's my desktop, if that is my computing device, I mean, that's why I don't blink paying $500 for a fucking tablet. Like, that's what I'm carrying in and day out, man. I don't want the least common denominator stuff. Now, if I'm adding it to my extensive collection of laptop PCs, then I might be a bit more.
Yes. But that's the thing. Even if it was, I'm trying to think of like, okay, I lose all of my computers and I need to get a laptop. I still would get an eBay laptop and just use that until I could afford to buy something. Of course, Pedro,
that's why you, like the rest of us, were cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to buy. I mean, this isn't made for you. At no point did you go, oh, I mean, like, if Pedro showed up next week with a System 76 PC and it wasn't like, oh yeah, by the way, we got a sponsored deal, I'd be like, who are you? And the same thing with me. You know, I generally don't have like anything like terribly negative to say about like companies that do Linux pre-builds. They're not for me, and they're not for a lot of you in the audience. But if you're looking for a pre-built Linux PC with that support, there you go. I mean, at least it's an option. I consider that a win.
Mhm.
Even with a
Just
freakish
not
edge.
1,700 euros.
Good Lord, man. Like, Pedro's like, can I get one without a monitor?
Yeah, let me just buy the motherboard for a
Yeah.
reasonable price. I'll figure everything else out.
Why don't you get a framework motherboard? Motherboard.
I
Just a motherboard.
very much ponder that. Yes.
Used motherboard.
Mm-hmm. With the case, I can't remember who it is that makes
Cooler Master.
Cooler Master that makes the desktop case. Yeah, that very much has crossed my mind. The $299.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, that was a little divergence here. Let's talk about game mode. Not game scope, game mode. The little teeny tiny little bit of software that Feral Interactive, you remember them,
Nope.
released back in the day in an effort to make their ports run a little bit better on Linux because they were very, very much CPU dependent. And here they are, still not releasing many Linux games nowadays unless they start with Total and end in War. But they're still updating. They're still updating game mode, and there's a bunch of community contributors there as well, which is very, very nice to see. They've added CPU core pinning. They've basically allowed for people to disable the Linux kernel split lock mitigation, which you probably remember if you were paying attention to the little what's this snafu of a Stadia developer wanting to implement spin locks on for Stadia games, and Linus, the non-squeaky one, the actual Linus Torvalds, just going, no, that's not how you do that.
No, I keep meaning to buy like a hammer at the dollar store and spray paint it like colors, and just like it'd be a perfect time to talk about our Linux Tech Hammer.
Yeah,
Now available for $69.
People like that screwdriver, so yeah.
So if you don't know, man, game mode, what can you do with it? Governor, IO, priority, process, niceness, and that's right, no meanness. Scheduler, screensaver inhibiting. Why would you have a screensaver enabled? I don't know. GPU performance mode and custom scripts. It makes computer go burr +1, right?
Effectively, yes. It's basically all of the psychosomatic stuff that you do on Windows as well to trick yourself into believing that something is running better. But the Linux version of that, there are some games that you can
make one of the bar things.
Yes, there are some games that yes, you do have a noticeable performance improvement if you're using game mode versus not. But most of them is entirely psychosomatic. There is no fucking difference.
This comes from somebody who adjusts his RAM timing.
Yes.
So he is familiar with this concept of doing shit for fuck all results.
At least adjusting the RAM timing has, more likelihood of crashing things.
It keeps shit interesting. Shut up. The core pinnings and parking, that's kind of neat, man. Like, if you get a bunch of extra cores later, right? Like, just use these.
Mm-hmm. And older games, especially the original Neverwinter Nights, it would run so much better if you core limited it to just the one core.
Well, then there is like some, oh, jeez. Like, yeah, let's work on Super Darkness card. Why not? Why not? Pin cores, yes. All right. Like, I'm down with this. It kind of caught me off guard when I just saw something from Feral, because if you're unfamiliar, if you're coming into Linux, they were like part of the second wave of Linux gaming as a thing after Linux gaming died in the late 90s and early aughts. They were kind of to us, a spiritual successor to Loki games. It's a good way to think about them. And, it came and Valve was trying to release the Steam machines at the time, and they had that big page that I still remember. I was like, it's happening again. But I started getting like super serious about this show. I'm like, let's not let it get fucked up this time. Like, we got a bunch of titles from them, but ultimately they were paid contractors. So when the contract support died, but we got things like they were using, what was their DX11 wrapper? Indirect X? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked.
It did?
Yeah. It got us through, but Valve effectively killed that section of Feral's been around a long time before they were doing Linux ports, and they were a long time after, the very episode that Proton was announced. You can go back and watch that episode. I was like, and there goes Feral ports. They're done.
Yeah, no, their ports, they ran okay if you had an Intel CPU back in the day, but if you had an FX or first-gen Ryzen CPU, some of those ports were rough, and with Proton, they ran a lot better. So,
years and years later, when Proton
yes,
came out,
once DXVK got to that point, absolutely.
DK, VK, LX, 12, 11.
VKD3D, yes, for the X12.
DAVK.
That's a thing now.
It is. D9. All right. So you can just do word salad with a lot of this stuff.
D9VK no longer exists as its own separate thing. It was absorbed into DXVK.
Mm-hmm. It's good to see him still doing all the things like this, getting it updated. I'm sure it was a contributor that did it. And I wish Feral nothing but the best. Like, they were there during that interim period before Proton, which is based on Wine, got up to the snuff, and we got all the stuff to where we're at right now, where it just doesn't really matter. We just got done covering a bunch of Proton games, tap dancing all over Windows 11's face. Here we are.
And maybe that's the reason that Nobara was at the top for a couple of those tests, was because it has game mode installed by default.
No, game mode's placebo, Pedro. We've covered this.
For the most part, yes, it is.
It's completely a placebo unless it's not. Safe bet as always.
There was, what was it? Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma Dark Horizon. That game.
The game doesn't sell a lot. Is it any fun?
I like it, but it is there's some questionable decisions that they've made with the because you get to the end of the game, you kill the dragon, and then the game doesn't end.
Kevin Smith comes out. And,
yes, there's another game in there, and they have the dragon, which you can go and beat on the dragon until it kills you, or you give up, because you can never actually kill it because it has stupid amounts of HP. And then after the end of each week, there's like a score counter to see how many people dealt the most damage to the dragon, which I don't get.
You don't damage the dragon, Pedro. You rock the dragon.
I liked Dragon's Dogma a lot.
Hey, honey, what are you doing tonight? Now I gotta log in real quick and whack the dragon a few times.
Yes. I never understood. I liked the story, and even the whole, it's the end, you've beat the dragon, but not really. Now you can continue playing in this darker world after the dragon is dead, or you can go and find out. So the game's
fun, you just take issue with perpetual dragon whacking.
And a few other things. Yes.
Oh, okay.
The combat's a little spongy. There are some classes that are just outright better than others, but I like it. I genuinely like it.
Coming up next is you have controllers at home, don't you?
About 10 of them. Yeah.
I got 3. I have 3 active. I think, man, I probably only have like 5, maybe 6. I got a couple of wired ones. And, if if you're correct, you got one of these. This is like a little Xbox controller. It's got the X and Y and B and A buttons because
Best
you see
controller.
that's the right way to do things. Like the Steam controller models after that. The X, Y, B, and A. The correct way of applying buttons to a controller, which is the superior way. Then you get this glue stick munching controller over here, which is like, you're so dumb you can't read. Here's some shapes, bitch. Press the triangle and the circle, and you're like, oh, okay. And you wipe your drool off of it, but you can still see the the square on it, and you're like, can they be different colors? Yeah, they can. This can be a problem, man. Like if you're playing a game and it's like, hey, man, press X to continue, and it's a square, or it's a nothing, or it's like it says start. You're like, what the hell? No, you're just fucking with it. It's like, what do I got to do? Well, this might be able to help out with it. This comes from Eculus, Ryan C. Gordon. Speaking of the 90s, the Linux gaming industry for a lot of the 90s and most of the early aughts, he's got a new thing called Controller Image. What is it? It's a library providing resolution-independent images for game controller inputs, so games can show the correct visual markers for the gamepads in the user's hands. This is one of the neat built-in features of SDL3.
Good.
Pretty cool. And I know Iculus is pretty clear. He's like, yo, so what if I got SDL2? Is there a compatibility thing I can hook up with SDL? And he's like, yeah, install SDL3.
SDL3 is basically just SDL2 with more things.
Upgrade, then you can use it. And he's looking for some scalable vector graphics. So if you want to send those in, for your PlayStation, your Switch, generic Xbox 360 controllers, whatever you got. Like, I'll take some art submissions. I was talking to Pedro, and I'm like, all right. So one of my goals in life is irritating this poor man who's never done anything. He's been nothing but nice to me. He's even come on the show for no reason whatsoever, just to make his life slightly more difficult. I'm a great friend. So I'm thinking about getting an Inkscape open, Pedro, and sending him. I told you I was going to do this right, too. Just to make
SVGs, yeah.
Make it extra infuriating. Infuriating. And maybe do an X with a little spider next to it. Maybe a Y. A little spider. 8 legs. And send those over.
Mm-hmm.
And see if he replies to me. You know what? Maybe I'll send 7 legs.
Just one of the spiders has 7 legs for no reason.
Yeah. And it's like, I can't use those. And I'm like, well, the Y spider had 8 legs when I send it to you. Can I have my spider back? I'd see how long I can go before he tells me to fuck off and he gets like what I'm trying to like.
That will probably happen very quickly. But yeah, no, it's SDL's already had very, very good input handling, regardless of whatever controller you threw at it. As long as it spoke anything that it had an inkling of, it could do it. And now it can do the output of those inputs as well. And just have the proper thing show up in game. That's good. That's removing the entirety of the burden of having
you lazy fucks that don't test your shit.
Yes. Basically removing the just removing the need for game developers to have to do that themselves.
Have it in there automatic for the people. It's brilliant. Even if you got one of those, and you get it's like, do you think PlayStation's glue sticks, man? That Switch controller is like extra. Is like, we're going to reverse buttons. Why? Because we're Nintendo. That makes no sense. Then it starts screaming and it sues you. Why?
Oh yeah, no, the Nintendo, the A is where the B should be, and
it's just X backwards. Think different. I keep meaning to buy If you want to send in some feedback, we're going to get to the 8mm subnet in a minute. But anybody has any recommendations, and by recommendations, I mean you also send me a picture of the one you fucking own and have used of a USB N64 controller, because I want to play the Ocarina of Time decompiled, the one that's on PC. I've played little bits of it, but I've always wanted to go back and go through that. But I want to do that with a actual N64 controller where I'm not like guessing, because I'm dumb. And when it tells me I need to press this button and it looks like that, I need that in front of me where I'm not like, is it that one? Which one is the map to that? Easily confused. Now, up next is Wine 9.0 RC1. Why are we talking about this? Because without wine, you don't get Proton.
Mm-hmm. And without wine, you don't get VKD 3D either.
Oh man, all right, I'm kind of impressed. What have I done? I've confused it. Where's my
Did you middle click in the middle of the page?
That's how you make it work. I broke it. Now it only goes left and right? Huh. Well, you know what? I'll manually scroll and talk because, I'm a caveman. How did I do? All right, I'm very curious how I did this. A couple of things in this, a couple of game fixes compact with this latest release candidate. They fixed the graphics in Need for Speed Most Wanted. All right. That now runs with a WoW 64-bit Castlevania Edgelords' Shadow. Some glitches sorted in that as well, along with whatever the hell a Crimson Skies is. No longer freezes.
Hey, Crimson Skies, what a, the non-simulatory Microsoft playing game. Okay. I like that game.
All right. And games that require bcrypt, DH support. Hey, you know what? They work now.
Yep.
What is bcrypt DH, Pedro?
I have no idea.
God damn it.
The thing that jumped out at me was the better Wayland support. They're actually supporting like different keyboard layouts in the Wayland driver, which is good. It's very good. Should have been there from the start, but hey.
Do you know anybody that speaks Lithuanian?
No.
Me either.
Not that I'm aware of.
We have that in common.
Yes. And the VKD3D, there's basically VKD3D 110.
Oh, I finally did it. All right.
Hey!
Yeah, all right.
And it crashed.
What?
It was just dark screen for me.
Yes, because I pressed the Jordan button.
Oh, okay.
I told you I was going to do that once, and here we are, almost okay. Pulling into the station.
Just the one.
All right.
Yeah, no, the actual VKD3D, if you've been using VKD3D recently, version 110 is probably the one you want to be running because it exposes the latest DX12 Ultimate, because Microsoft naming schemes. It exposes the new functionality, so that's very good to have. And it still surprises me that, okay, we have VKD3D for DX12, which is a Wine project. There's the fork for Proton, VKD3D Proton, but actual VKD3D is a Wine thing. Why do we have DXVK as a separate thing? What's the delay there? Wine? Why not just have DXVK as an official thing?
Pedro, you're more than welcome to submit your pull request to.
That's the thing. I remember Deutschen saying that he tried to, and he said no.
No. See, I've talked to the Wine, but they said you're fine to do it, though.
Yeah.
Ground up rewrite. Clean room. We don't need a clean room. You just need to be in a clean room, just in general. Freshly vacuumed carpet.
I suppose I need to get the vacuuming then.
I wonder if you could rig one of those up for your office chair. You remember like the human-powered vacuum roller things? Like it just had a brush in it, and you could like push them around on the carpet.
Oh, yes.
Caveman Roombas, right? Like manual Roombas that you had to push around. I wonder if you could get like a setup like that for like your chair, the wheels on your chair.
Aren't they already like that? Considering how much of the crap they
No, that's
collect?
just hair.
And dust.
That's what I want. I want like 4 little mini. So I just have like these random clean spots on the carpet. Be great. It'll encourage you to go throughout the house more often while sitting in your PC chair.
So you can do the thing of just not getting up at all.
Yeah, the PC lifestyle, man. That's what we need, dude. That's what we need. Is like the ones that you can hook. Like it has a standing position switch on it, so you can reach up and get plates and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Get the honey mussy.
Just have like the bottle of compressed air and just go, and it shoots you all the way up so you can reach the top shelf.
See, this is it's times like this. I do wish that we had like a Linus Tech Tips like style budget, because Pedro says that, and my brain immediately goes to like reckless self-endangerment mode, and I'm like, go get the camera. We're going to find out how many bottles of compressed air we need to achieve motion in an office chair. See what top speed.
See, I just meant for like the hydraulics to like.
I know you say that, but you're also going to see me going, wee, with like $7,000 of compressed air cans.
Probably have like a charging port that you could just plug your chair in at the end of the day to recharge the compressed air.
All right. Hey, everyone. If you do want to send me that message and be like, yo, man, I use this particular N64 controller, because there's a ton of them on Amazon that are like $9, and I'm like, sure, I would snap it in half the first time I looked at it. Tell me about it. Head over to LinuxGameCast.com, smash that contact button, fill it out, pick the right show, pick any show. It all goes to the same email box. And just, pick the right subject. Be like, hey, man, let's talk. And give me your favorite recipe for biscuits. And how you're born on a farm.
Wait, biscuits? So they're English? Because if they're American, they were cookies?
In that context, I was using the American form of biscuits.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Like,
you have to establish these things.
The fuck I do. You got to keep people guessing, Pedro.
I'm overtly pedantic for some things.
You. All right. We got a little bit this week. We got one this week. Pedro, since you're not feeling well, you can read it.
Okay. The Hobbs. He goes, hey, gang, my most nostalgic game for Linux was X-Evil. Zevil?
Were we talking about nostalgic games?
I don't remember specific one, but we'll I think we're getting to the meat of this particular question. It's a 2D side-scroller multiplayer deathmatch game where you're fighting for your position in hell with such prestigious titles as Satan's earwax remover or Satan's vibrating sex toy. You take drugs and murder folks as different classes. You can share a keyboard or play over the network, sort of. I first found it in the early 90s on some Red Hat installation media that I used to get my 486 running. I've tried to compile X-Evil on modern distros, but it's a bit of a pain to get running. They do have the source on GitHub now, so perhaps someone will bring it to the modern era. I really wish I could find the original version I had back with black and white graphics instead of these newfangled color-laden sprites. Colors? Really? Especially because the fire looks like diarrhea. Okay. Perhaps that's part of the charm. Thanks for the show, boys. Have a quality week. So yeah,
that looks the part, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think this is also related to the conversation of
man, this is like this would be like peak Pedro teenager edgelord disclaimer, isn't it? Read this disclaimer or die. Okay, kids, let's get this straight. Whatever. Where's the screenshots? Network. Oh, all right.
You mentioned there was.
Yeah. So you never know, man. You're like, yeah, sure. Network. Screenshots. Here we go. Yeah, I've never played this.
That, no. No, I don't think I have either. It looks like some weird Duke Nukem 1 type of situation.
You gotta fight Mulch Man. All right. I mean, listen, man, this is like peak 1994. How old were you in 1994?
1994, I was 8.
Do you think you could have made a better game in 1994?
No. I probably couldn't make a better game now, let alone in 1994.
I'm curious what it takes to get it up and running now. Download Unix. Oh yeah, this thing's not even like Linux. This is Unix. Adaptation, modern 64 old X-Evil game. All right, there's a modern. This was modern as of like 12 years ago.
Oh come on, there was an update 5 months ago.
Hush. SatanXEvil.com. Okay. For instructions on playing, like, good Lord, does this thing have a config file?
There's a make file, yes.
Yeah. Let's see. See in what? C and more C. All right, that ends make file.
C, C++,
Yeah.
some HTML.
Reasons.
I'm guessing that's the README file.
I'm more concerned about this 0.1% of other.
There's maybe some bash.
I don't know. You could. There's bash on GitHub. You can flag bash. I don't know. It is too.
If anyone can get X-Evil to run, please do let us know.
Maybe we'll have a build off, because you know what? Here, I will download it, type make, and it's going to go whop, and I'm like, welp.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lie.
I know. It's the
unless it's like very obvious. It's like thing not installed. What thing? And like this very easy package that's going to be the first result when you type app search this thing. I'm like, all right, then I might go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, considering Hobbs has been using Linux since whatever early version of Red Hat they had installed at the time, probably not the case.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap us up for this evening. But we want to thank a couple of people like Basil, 1XA, for a 47-month resub on Twitch. If you're a Twitch type person that does the twitching, and you want to come chat with us the other 6 days of the week, you can do that. Just set it up with your Discord. It'll auto link. There's instructions on our web zone, or just type into the Bings or whatever you use, the Googles, the Ducks, the Quacks. I'm going to go quack something. We got to get the down going for DuckDuckGo, because saying I'm going to DuckDuckGo something makes you look like the largest nerd, and I just walk away.
I'm just going to quack that real quick.
You got to do something, man, because DuckDuckGo is not a fucking verb, and it's not going to happen. Let it go.
Google wasn't a verb either, and yet here we are.
Google works. Like,
yeah, it's a single word, yes.
Yeah, you listen, I was a big proponent of Wolfram. I wanted to Wolfram stuff. Like, hang on,
you can still Wolfram maths.
Let me go Wolfram that real quick. People are going to look at you the same way. Like, get the hell out of here. But Nubbin as well, 43-month resub. If you want to help us out, head over to our web zone, LinuxGameCast. There'll be all links in the description. Bunch of ways to do that. But basically, we're just trying to funnel you into our chat room where we're hanging out the rest of the week, so you can come party with us. You can do that by becoming a patron. You get just a gang of bonus content by being a patron. Do after shows, live and uncut series, early looks. There's an early look at the first Firewire interface up right now for everybody to kind of peruse over. You know, I do rough cuts of videos. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm working on. Probably going to do a behind the scenes video on that for patrons of like, here's actually how it's set up in a timeline to let you watch that. Patreon.com/LinuxGameCast. We got LibraPay, we got PayPal, we got crypto, Coinbits, no Coiniers, and wish lists. If you want to pick us up something from the old Amazons, you're like, I'm here anyway. I'm going to get Pedro something because Pedro wants
a G clamp,
a fucking clamp.
Yeah, buy me a G clamp for Christmas.
Is it
That's
blue?
fine.
Are you set on blue, or was that the only option? Aw.
That is the only option, unfortunately, yeah.
I'm a little disappointed in that. What are our clamp?
Basically, I need to replace the brake pads on the car.
Okay.
And that's one way to do it. To get the...
Does the job clamping things together. Can't fault it for that.
Mhm.
Nice and heavy and sturdy. All right. What is this? Oh, look at that. Clamping some wood. All right. Who's going to drop a 1-star review on this? Now I'm curious. Boo. Wait, hang on.
It was just a rating, not a review.
What about 2-star? Quality issues? Generally, I thought the attached label, perhaps the Eclipse is outsourced to manufacturing. You don't say it doesn't work. A very roughly cast frame. Oh, no, Pedro. you need an artesian, like hand-polished. You ever pick up a clamp, but like, this is a rough frame, man. Toss this thing out.
Yeah, no, none of the issues that person's bringing up there really bother me at all.
Oh man, yeah, for 11 quid, you expect some rough edges as long as it knows how to clamp, right?
Yeah, as long as I twist a thing and it twists in and out, that's fine.
Preferably stays there. And yeah, if you want to get something for the studio, I will publicly shame you until that fills up. Then we'll have to work out a whole different system. I keep thinking about putting a big screen TV back there, but like the other, like 99% of my brain just kicks me in the throat every time I come up with that idea.
There you go. That's a good use for an OLED monitor. Just having the names of people.
Yeah, no, I don't want to like get kicked in the throat and have a loan. I guess OLED TVs aren't how expensive. I have no idea what TVs cost now. Anyway, you'll end up there if you get something from the studio, and we'll read out a little note and celebrate and dance around.
You can literally get us to read something. Well, anything that won't let us in jail.
Ish. There's wiggle room on that.
Even then, there's
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for tonight. We're going to cue the music, maybe. Do we got the music set up? Hey, there it is. Hopefully Jordan survives Florida. And he'll be back with us next week.
Bring the alligators back to Canada.
Right. He's going to... never mind. Credits.
I assure you, Your Honor, I am not a cat.
Mm-hmm. So good. Hey, thanks to our advisors, Omegas and Arthur, and our executive producers, Barbara and Scott, Atomic, Mike, Drummer, Tomas, Hakeem, David, Eshep, and Ian.
And people kicking butt all over Chicago, Super there, Stout, MT, Gloria Sagrol, and Nubbin. And the Sea Monsters, Renault, Rider X Machina, Trudgy, Veritanuda, Justin, Nubbin, Darkwing, System T, Dancing Joe, Ogi1, and Kyrilla. So many death notes.
Like Aromatic Dev.
And Oil of Hope, and Doom 2.wad. Big fan of Doom 2.wad.
If you're listening, this is just as it's great. Go back and listen harder, and you can see all the names too.
Yeah.
All of our fine standing animals helping us out. All right. Till next week, everybody. Remember, Windows 10 for gaming, not 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to make it 10. It doesn't work.
I mean, to start rolling the things and then putting up the fingers it looks like something else.
Windows 11? Boop.
All right. Yes, I too hope the malaria clears up. Thank you, System T.
Oh, no. Malaria wouldn't be back pain. Malaria's elbow pain. Pedro wants a sore nose when he wakes up.
I want to be able to breathe when I wake up.
Get a neti pot. I won't do fuck all for that, but it's awesome. Like, shit tastes like salt for 3 days after that.
Yeah.
And apparently I have a cavity designed for saltwater storage in my head. Because like 2 days after that, I was up under trying to fix something with my head inverted. You know, couldn't quite get it up my own ass. And like water comes out. Not an insignificant amount either. And it wasn't like snot. It was just like, like, what the fuck? It was just hanging out, doing its thing. I should have got some little fish. Like some sea monkeys.
Sea monkeys. I remember those.
Grim.
Teeny tiny little shrimp. Wait, are those actually shrimp, or it's just the stuff that wiggles in water?
Amoebae?
Yeah.
Amiibos, yeah, the Nintendo, the Nintendo things, the Amiibos.
Yes, the Nintendo Amiibos.
You're talking to one. Is that how you categorize your friends, Doc? Like, yeah, I was talking to Windows 11.
All right, you've all been wonderful. I really do need sleepy time. Bye, so
Go get some exercise. Eat right.
I do. Well, not the exercise, but I do try to eat right.
Just like, fuck that. That exercise ended the second the car got here.
That's the thing. I still do that kind of level of exercise. I still do. I just make it a point of getting up and walking around the building a couple of times. Just because I don't want to talk to people.
What, at work?
But it's an excuse. But yeah, no, it's wherever this cough came from. Nori is the one that brought it in, so I blame her.
There we go. We can close out on that, ladies and gentlemen. Throw Nori under the bus. She wouldn't have gotten sick if she had just used a controller.
It was a dual sense too. It was a nice controller.
You know, I retract everything. That probably was patient zero. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh no! Even though it's like 11:20, so I don't want to hear it. Good night, everybody.